Personal diary. October 12th. Father Whitaker is so righteous, so full of compassion and love for the suffering ones. His words are all the city needs. Tonight I gave him all I have, my strength, my faith, my wealth. And it is not enough. If it is not enough, I know where to find more. October 17th, Father Whitaker and I went to an abandoned house near St. Mary's Church. It was an awful and smelly place. Rats were disputing the rooms to the last remaining residents of the decrepit flats. Most of them are sick, awful odors. On the last floor, Father Whitaker found an old man lying on a dirty mattress, coughing and spitting blood in a wooden bowl. Father Whitaker knelt before him and prayed a long time. The man seemed to feel better. Then we both helped him find the light. I cried then, and I cry now as I write these lines, for I have never seen a soul so relieved to be finally redeemed. Father Whitaker is a saint. If it's not presumptuous nor a sinful expression of pride, I wish I will be able to save as many souls as he does, for it's a real privilege to witness such miracles. October 19th. Tonight, we both went to the whorehouses boarding the canal. I must admit I was very afraid to cross the path of Jezebels, but the buildings were abandoned for a long time. Whores and infections go together, explained Father Whitaker, but their customers quickly get scared when there is mention of disease. In the last brothel, we found 2 sick women sleeping together in a sinful attitude under dirty blankets. The odor was awful once more. The smell of Satan and of the disease, explained Father Whitaker, felt before kneeling and praying for these 2 lost souls. The women were so frail and sick they were not able to move when I threw the petrol on the blankets. Their souls are now cleansed and purified. Father Whitaker is a saint. On the October 21st, I won't let anyone mock the holy man he is. He shall receive more help and support, but as all the true prophets, he is alone. He needs more from his followers. He needs love and proof of love. Tomorrow I shall go back to the cemetery and unearth more wealth for him. The dead have no need of the terrestrial goods, but we need to eat, Father Whitaker and I. October 27th. Tonight, for the first time, it was my turn to lead the round. I chose to return where we went 10 days ago to see if any more souls needed to be freed. Father Whitaker approved of my choice, since the good man's work is never finished, and Satan never sleeps, he explained. He also said, if I keep showing so much zeal, you may soon give me more important missions and tasks. I can't wait. 3 more souls have been cleansed from any corruption tonight. If it's not presumptuous nor a sinful expression of pride, I dare to say we are on a path to greatest. And that's what he is burning. People alive. Tobias has already killed several sick people during his crusade to cleanse the city. Mostly prostitutes, which is what I was talking about before. Well, there were 2 people here. And, oh, that's why we saw these before. The caskets. Because they're opening it and whatnot. And then in here... Oh, yeah, this connects to the other side. Right. Good. Let's go back. Hello, Father.
You are blinded by your false faith!
Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Tobias Whitaker, confess why you burnt those people alive.
I have done what no one was ready to do. I will smite the flesh of the unclean to protect the righteous.
You are just another heartless murderer, exploiting the epidemic to kill with impunity.
No! No. The only way to contain the spread is to strike at the source itself. The proliferating sick.
You're not the savior of London. You're just a glorified sadist.
I take no pleasure in this awful cleansing, Dr. Reed. I am only driven by the thousands of innocents I save each night.
Why did you send Samuel to the cemetery, Tobias? What did you see there?
I sent him on a vision. A dream of a dreadful and laughing queen covered with blood, sleeping with the dead and feeding on the fear of the dying.
A laughing queen dressed in blood. Tell me more.
This epidemic is her feast, the announcement of her return. Against her, science is no more than a child's toy.
But who is she?
She is the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. She is Babylon, drunk on the blood of the saints.
That's just quoting from the Bible there. It's jibber jabber. It's not saying anything that we might unlock for our own purposes.
Why did you send Samuel to the cemetery, Tobias? What did you see there?
I sent him on a vision.
You sent a man to die because of a stupid vision. I have heard enough of your nonsense. Goodbye. I have found Samuel, your disciple. I am afraid I have bad news.
I already expected the worst. He should already have come back. He is dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is now. The epidemic took him.
Samuel steadily made donations to our cause. He would have rewarded you himself if you'd found me in that awful cemetery. Please accept this money.
He gave me the money already. And of course he didn't know that.
Your disciple, Samuel, stole from the dead in Stonebridge Cemetery. I have proof of his crime and proof of his death.
No! Samuel was the best of us. So devoted, so zealous. He gave all he had for the cause. He tirelessly preached the good word.
Tobias's crusade is funded by his apprentice grave digging activities. Yes, for sure.
He defiled the dead with his petty thefts. That's how he financed your misguided crusade.
Think what you will. When this city is saved, he will be praised for his devoted fortitude. He walked boldly into the mouth of abomination.
Your precious Samuel used you. He was an immoral crook.
If that's true, then he will be my burden to bear during this endless night.
Yep. Yes, he will.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
All of his goodbye lines are very, very antagonistic. There's a better word for it. But, yeah. Very much a man of science. No gods up in here. Which, it wasn't necessarily a unheard of take at the time, but the distinction between science and religion wasn't as strong back then as it is today, and as it will be certainly in the future. The understanding of religion as a means for science, historically speaking, is very strong, and so not only a lot of scientists were religious, but also a lot of religious people pursued science and scientific methods, and that certainly happens well into the 20th century. So it feels a little bit too, well, it's not too modern, but it feels a little bit modern, his antipathy for religion, considering the fact that it is based on his scientific endeavors. I think that means that we have talked to everyone. And we can't go into the cathedral itself. It's definitely a cathedral. This thing is enormous. Look at the size of that. It does have a rosacia. It's definitely a cathedral. I mean, churches can have rosacea as well, but I'm talking about that circular window. And a Gothic tower. We have a probably 16th century front. Probably 17th century, in fact. And then that tower over there would be 18th century? Yeah, the Gothic came after the Neoclassic, or whatever it's called. I forget the names. But of course, what happens with a lot of churches is that they just get renovated over the years. So that while the church itself might have been built many years ago, it just gets changed and restyled over the years. So it's tricky. And that might actually be a made-up cathedral inspired by something. Oh, I'm absolutely lost all of a sudden. So before we do the main quest, find someone who can read Braille. Mason is the one. Unfortunately, I can't go to Mason. Widow in distress. Well, she's gonna have to wait. No investigations there. This one I can't do. I don't think. So I think side quests are done for the moment. I am concerned about Mason, though, because he has 2 diseases. But we can't go to him yet. So hopefully he doesn't die. And so let's keep an eye on people. We have Oswald Thatcher over here with a headache. And we have Enid Gillingan. Okay. Oswald, where are you? Oswald. Was it your friend?
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
There it is.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
I'm certain you have your reasons. But let me assure you, I'm not like other doctors you may have consulted with.
It is true. You risked your life to save me, after all. It would be impolite to refuse your counsel.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher.
And now he doesn't have a headache anymore. What about you?
Hello again, Mr. Blight.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
You don't say anything new. Which is expected.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight.
But that does mean that we can now focus our goals. I suppose our goals would have been there, but go towards our main quest, which is about finding Dorothy, I believe. Find and talk to Darius Petrescu, actually. I have lost the trail of Nurse Dorothy Crane after her meeting with some shady gang member. Luckily, I found a useful hint on the man's corpse after some frenzied skulls murdered him. Some sort of coupon. Yes. It has been a little while. We found more coupons since. Hopefully this is an interesting character and not another person who's diseased. Both of those. Interesting character and not diseased. I have all the medicine that I need. Hopefully. Wait a minute. I wonder if I can apply medicine to people who are locked behind doors. Because just because I can't mesmerize them, it doesn't mean that I can't talk to them. Do you know what I mean? There we are.
Good evening, sir. It's me again.
Leave me alone, I say, whoever you are.
Dang it. Why can't I give you medicine?
All right. I shan't insist. Goodbye for now, sir.
I can tell who you are. Mason Swarnturnturns. He's the only one that's diseased. Dang it. Oh, he's blind. Did you notice that subtitle? He was... I'm so glad I can't see them. He's blind. Huh. Here we are for the main quest, then.
Maybe it's time to see if this Christina is still working nearby.
What? What
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
How do I observe that? What is he doing? I don't think I have any... Look at that. It detects it as an observable thing. Oh, there it is. His pants are atrocious. There she is. Maybe she's gonna make him some new pants.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Machination.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
I don't know what happened to the graphics here.
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
The farts. I am tracking you.
It's locked, all right.
Darius is the right arm of Dorothy Crane.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
I know where they are. So he should be around here, the journalist. But no, I can't find him. That's Camilio. And the poet is in here, obviously.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Maybe.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Everything is mysterious.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Darius is a former Romanian political activist.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
And we know the same thing from Papu. Pipu? Chlorine? I don't know her name. The prostitute. The only one prostitute. This lady over here, Christina Popa.
I'm clean, I promise.
Oh, there you are. What are you doing?
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
What a weird thing. Find the mailbox and the letter. Well, should it be close to his house? Apparently not. Look at the map marker. Ah, there you are. My dearest, most beloved children, I'm so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in East London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there is also a war going on here in England, a war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now, to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am as ever your loving father, Darius Petrescu. Written in English as well.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
To enter. Anyway, let's go there. Here's the house again. Bates is going around.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Well, that was easy. There's the health is serious here. He has bronchitis. I don't think I have anything for his bronchitis, though. Which is a bit of a shame. Dude, how'd you get bronchitis?
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
And I can't give you anything, so that sucks.
Well, if you feel all right, that's fine. So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Okay.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nithercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Are you sure he's a good man?
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Yeah, afterlife and angels, that's not the same thing.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
It's kind of weird that he keeps talking about occupied Romania, but then says that they escaped the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And I'm not 100% sure what it is occupied by, or maybe it's the war that it's done. I don't know. We may be in a specific stage of the war or something. I don't know.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
It's complicated.